Hello and welcome. I am Raziel, and today we're going to talk about the Enlightened, a bit of a semi-deep dive, honest, seriously look at the Enlightened. Okay, not that serious. It's gonna be fun all the way because the Enlightened are an interesting faction. They are the mad scientists of the dystopian age. They are the crazy ones. They are the ones that, they bring out medicine and vehicles that don't require horses. We don't have steamboats in the Wild West Exodus and the dystopian age, all because of the Enlightened. They like to bring people to the future, kicking and screaming, instead of gently by the hand. So who are the Enlightened? Well, the Enlightened, like I said, are the mad scientists. They don't actually have a country of their own. They don't. They tend to perk up shop in a major city and they kind of go, this is our land now. And they don't care who the IRS brings because they are not paying their taxes. Yes, they have autonomy from whatever country they're in, be America, Great Britain, India, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which faction is there, the Sultanate, the Commonwealth, etc. Does not matter. They are completely autonomous from whatever country they're in. Now, this kind of brings up a lot of contention between them and said country. They've got the land, they're working on the land, they're doing stuff, and they're not paying taxes. I can kind of see that point, though, to be honest with you. But they're not allowed to vote either. They don't actually have any rights within the country, only within said part, which is alright. Now, one thing about the Enlightened, they do like to build things. They like to build nice, interesting things. You look at their flying saucers, or anything that is not of the era, like the ships, the iron horses, all of that. That was all invented by the Enlightened. That is what they do. They invent a lot of things. And I think this is incredibly cool. And they're also the doctors and the medicine and all of that, nurses. They are the healthcare of said society as well. They kind of do this all for free. Like, they will give this stuff out for free. Big air quotes in free there. Because they like to dictate how wars go. Take all wars within America. Within the United States, the all wars was more of a civil war thing. Well, across the planet it was going on, but however, within the United States it was more of a civil war thing. And because the Enlightened was arming both sides, it kind of drew to a stalemate, and no one was really winning. And that was until a defector named Nikola Tesla decided to, give the Union a little helping hand. Yes, Nikola Tesla was part of the Enlightened, but he wasn't very happy about this way they would, influence the wars by making everyone the same stuff, so no one would really win. So he gave the Tesla bots and all this stuff to the Union, and in the end, he also gave them a big bomb, which destroyed Richmond, and made Grant very happy with that one. Yes, Ulysses Grant, by the way. He was very happy he destroyed core of Richmond and ended the Civil War within America. And this is where it kind of gets really funny. See, though the Enlightened is technically a single faction, they do not get on with each other. I will bring up the hospital bit in a minute as well. They hate each other, like they're constantly fighting all the time. You got Sturgeon and Carpathian, that's the big two right now who are really at each other's throats, and they totally don't like each other. Now, Sturgeon has the vault in Antarctica and Carpathian really wants to get in, and Sturgeon says no one allowed in. So we have this completely and it isn't just war of words, it's using violence too. And of course, when you're in a civil war within your own faction, you do what's the most sensible thing you could do, and that's of course fight everyone else. So they do that too. Because if, say, a country decides, you've been here for a while, it's time you start paying taxes, they tend to get a little bit violent with it. So, while fighting amongst themselves, they're also fighting everyone else. Yeah, that's common sense. Now, when it comes to medicine, they are very, very good. This is why you see people like Martha Earp within Wild West Exodus, even though in our timeline, she died during childhood, and how Doc Holliday is surviving even with his TB. Because of medicine that the Enlightened gives you. So if you go into, they're not like the Orcs doctors, but they have this very much of similarity with them. See, you could go into an Enlightened doctor or Enlightened clinic and go, Doc, I've broken my arm. Your arm will be fixed. Yeah, it will be 100% new. There will be no scarring. It would be as if it was never broken before. Also, you probably have an extra arm or head as well. Yeah. You're taking a gamble when you go into an Enlightened clinic. You may just go in with a slight cold and you end up coming out with a will instead of legs. Because why not? They also like to make zombies. Because there's nothing better than testing your weapons on people who are still alive, but, just needed that little bit of extra oomph and lack of brains and willpower. They don't need those last two things, so they just sort of zombify people and lead them charging ahead. And sometimes they put these zombies in vehicles as well. Because, why expend a very important scientist when you could expend just a normal person who you completely lobotomized? But they do experiment on themselves as well with Mr. Ears. Now, Mr. Ears is a French biologist, and he has a particular interest in primates. And he got horrifically injured, like beyond anything you could imagine. So he put his consciousness into a gorilla. So now you have this French-speaking gorilla. And he's strong, he's smart, and he speaks French. So they do experiment on themselves. They are not adverse to, giving themselves a little bit of extra power. It's such as Mr. Carpavian again deciding to completely cybernetically enhance his body into this super strong brute who can just rip people in half. Because, it helps him with his scientific studies. I.e., he wants to see what's inside his enemies and how they work. Even though, all that's kind of normal for everyone else. But he just wants to get this hands-on approach when it comes to dissecting people, especially if they're running away screaming. Anyway, so that is the Enlightened. It's very brief and fun, and I think they're an interesting faction. And I'll see you all in the next one. And thank you very much for watching. And if you wish to save money on your wargaming, you can go down to Whaling Games down below and save up to 20% on your wargaming. Free delivery after £20. And with that point system, you get an extra 1% off. So, but it's usually you got to hit 100 points first, which is £1. So there's that. There is also Forbidden Planet for comics, DVDs, mangas, etc. All that cool stuff. My merchandise, stickers, my comics, t-shirts, all the things designed by me, all the art's done by me, it's all my stuff, and that's down below as well. There's Skyforge, I'll never forget Skyforge, good friend of mine. And finally, before I forget, Patreon, because business. Bye-bye.